Welcome back to episode 18 of AyyScare Plays Front Office Football 8, Season 2. In case you missed last episode, during the regular season, team went 11-5, and then we lost in the first round of the playoffs. So our team seems to be really set up for success right now, and I think that we're going to continue on that trajectory. So let's keep things rolling. Before we jump in, though, I do just want to remind everybody, these seasons for Front Office Football 8, I'm doing 20 episodes and then a recap episode. So this is episode 18, meaning we have, including this season, we have 3 seasons left. One of the rules that I set out in season 1, and I'm keeping true to it here, is that I am not throwing everything in for a team that's going to crash after season 20. So even if that means that season 19 or 18, 19, 20 are you might be saying hey, Scare, you could be doing something different and specifically doing something crazy, trading away a bunch of first round draft picks in the future for somebody. We might do that because obviously the goal is to win the bowl, but I'm not setting my team up for hey, after episode 20, the team's just going to crash and fall off of a cliff. So I'm trying to take it a little bit more realistically. All right. So before we jump in, our team last year did incredible across the board. We had basically the best defense in the league. Obviously, if you look here, you'll see some of the stats are 11th, but it's okay, our team was holding teams to 3.14 average yards per carry. That was best in the league. So obviously teams are going to pass a little bit more on us, but we were 11th best there. We were first in the league at limiting total yards gained. So in my opinion, these defensive stats are basically, we are the clear top defense in the league right now. And then offensive wise, we're definitely a top 10 offense. I'll put it that way. There are certain areas where I think that we can still improve a little bit. But overall, Holmberg is an absolutely awesome quarterback. We need to keep him safe. Our running game's working. We have a number of offensive weapons. Front line is going to be a little bit concerning. As I've said in previous episodes here, we have an aging front line, which is I would say it's probably our top concern right now, but we'll dive into that here in a second. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, those numbers are looking good. All right, now we're coming off of a year where we went 11-5, so I do not plan to make any significant changes here. We'll see if one of our coaches gets swiped up by another team here. Something like that. All right, for head coach, our guy's on the top, and he's I actually just re-signed him, so we're good there. Offensive coordinator, our guy is top of the list, so we're good there. Defensive coordinator, he's not the top of the list, but we had the best defense in the league last year, so let's not mess with pulling in a change there. Assistant coach, we're not the top, but I'm happy with getting our young wide receivers a little bit of extra help here. So again, another thing I'm not planning to switch up on. And then strength coach, there is technically 2 points better. They're basically the same though, so let's just go ahead and skip that. I don't know if changing out your strength coach affects certain background numbers in terms of cohesion and things like that. And it was such a small change there that we are good as far as I'm concerned. All right. One thing, we have a number of older players. Neither one retired, unless they retired at the end of last season. Let's take a quick look at this. Maybe some of them are trying to stick around hoping they get the ring before they retire. So center is now 10 years in the league. Left tackle, we don't actually have him on our roster because I was anticipating that he would retire, but it looks like he's going to give another year shot here. But again, he's not on our team right now. We also did not re-sign Ike Borders. He had a respectable year last year, but these are both positions that are very expensive. So we'll see here in a second about possibly franchising one of them. Actually, we have to do that now. I forgot. That's before free agency. Huh. This guy overall, who's with us for 6 seasons, overall did very, very well for us. That means that based on his age, I don't know about franchising him. He would cost us about $27 million, which would be a pretty big hit. But let's look at a couple things here, because it might make sense to franchise one or two, or you can only franchise one. Let me replace that. It might make sense to actually franchise one of these two guys. Yeah, I'm not franchising that guy. And here's why. We went 11-5 last season. Unless like our quarterback gets injured or something like that, right? We should have a very, very solid shot at another playoff run. Or at least making playoffs. We lost the first round of playoffs, but we should have a shot at it. These are two key positions. Right now, I have two right tackles down here. So one of them could potentially swap over, but I do not have a clear left tackle to plug in. Ike Borders played a respectable season last year. The other thing about Ike Borders is that we could franchise him and then potentially sign him to a longer term deal. He's 26, so he'll fall into the category of a long-term deal, whether it's with us or another team. And similar to our left tackle position, our cornerback position is also a clear weak spot for us. So both of those are going to really hurt the amount of money that we have to work with. There are a couple of players. Oh yeah, Devin Holmberg is up for contract this year, so we're going to need money to keep him around. He could easily break the franchise salary probably if he wanted to. Right now, top quarterback is $60 million. He's currently... Oh, so he actually already is almost the top paid quarterback right now. I mean, he's worth it. I think that he's definitely a good quarterback, should still have a solid, probably at least 5 years in this game, unless he gets injured. He could probably go longer than that, but he is already 30. Based on what we're already paying him, he might actually give us a slight team deal. There's no guarantee of that, though. What is his... He has high loyalty, which should help us a little bit. I'm really not sure what to do with this. Right now we don't have a great idea. Actually, we do have a decent idea. All right. So let's say there are going to be, unless they get franchised, let's say there will be 2 decent left tackles going into free agency. Actually, one of them is our guy. So, okay. And then corners, Ike Border is definitely the only real viable corner, at least as of this second, that's looking to go to free agency. I think that this answers the question. I think that we need to franchise Ike Borders. So let's go ahead and lock that in. Back to our team here, Denver. Ike Borders, $38 million. That is a hefty contract. All right. That keeps our secondary at least possible to figure something out here. Our money situation is rough, though. So let's see what we do here. Is there anybody worth cutting? He's not getting paid much anyway. Jalen is probably done, but he's not costing us too much this year, and I think if we release him, we have to pay him out his contract because he's injured right now anyway. So we're not going to bother with that. It doesn't look like there's really anybody clearly that we can cut for big savings. That guy's cheap. All right. Yeah, we have about 10 positions that we're going to need to fill here. So we're probably going to end up cutting 1 or 2 big names, but let's see how this pans out. So first and foremost, Devin Holmberg, we have to re-sign him. So $66 million, that comes out to, what does that come out to? Give or take $13 million a year bonus. Okay. And then in terms of salary, though, he's helping us out this year, and he's not asking for top salary again until his final year. So this actually seems like a good deal for us. Maximum cap value available. Oh, okay. I see what that's saying. All right. Yes, I did open up some space for us. Cool. That locks in our quarterback, franchise quarterback there. All right. We are going to have 2 big target signings next year in Dabney and then Grayson Gaither here, a tight end. Both of them are probably going to be record-breaking deals, which from a money standpoint, we're going to be in a little bit of problems here. But, all right, this is going to be a slight team deal, and it extends our center a year. That'll probably take him to retirement because then he'll be 34, 35. So yeah, he'll probably be retired after that contract. We need to re-sign this punter. This punter did incredibly. That is not a cheap punter, but it's not that bad, actually. Especially if he's as good as his ratings claim, then I'm happy with that. All right, we got a number of 1 years here. So Ike Borders, let's see if he'll restructure this. Okay, he's willing to restructure. I'm not a huge fan of signing a corner. It will sign him until he's 31. That's actually okay. That's cool. And that will open up some money for us. So that is overall good. All right. Sebastian Slaughter. He hasn't done as well these past couple of years, but he's still, I still view him as kind of a centerpiece on our defense. And based on his past couple of years, he'll probably sign with us relatively cheaply. So that's, let me just So he's about the same this year, but extends him 1 year. Sounds good to me. That will probably take him into retirement. We have this tight end who I actually do want to keep. This will keep us with 2 very good tight ends on our roster. Yep, and because the other tight end is now kind of our tight end 1, this guy's willing to re-sign for relatively cheap. Perfect. This outside linebacker went for 50 tackles, 22 assists. He only played in 11 games, though, so that's actually a relatively decent stat line. This one's definitely a little bit more expensive for us this season, but that is not bad for a startable outside linebacker. So we're good there. Another outside linebacker here. This is actually probably the better one, and we're going to sign him regardless. All right, we need to re-sign these right tackles because I don't know what tackle situation we're going to be in store for. So he's been re-signed. Young outside linebacker has not played much. He'll extend for almost nothing. Perfect. We need to extend our long snapper. Cool. Artie Price, even though his ratings are not great, him as our RB2 has actually been very good. He's also our backfield leader, so I don't have a problem extending him. And then this guy's done next to nothing. Perfect. He'll resign cheap. This guy barely played at all, but his pass defended's really high, and he did get an interception and 2 defended with very little stats. That actually is very interesting. I want to keep him on roster, especially with how potentially weak our secondary looks. All right. So again, we have basically no money to work with. So what we're probably going to need to just basically completely skip free agency. We're to basically need to go directly into draft mode, and then the little bit of money we have left over, we'll use in late free agency. So that's basically the situation. We really have no money. Yep, so a number of tackles are at the top, but again, we're not going to be able to afford any of these guys. Yeah, the money situation's too messed up to even bother, to be honest. So let's go ahead and hop right into draft mode then. So draft mode, we are pick 24 across the board, and we do have a high 4th round from a trade. I think that was last season. At 24th, we need to specifically target something. Left tackle, I think, is going to be an obvious one. And then secondary. So realistically, I think left tackle and corner. Game says that we need defensive tackle and corner. All right. Let's see what our options might be. So looking at the top of the board here, there's little chance that we get a shot at really any of these guys anyway, but there's only 1 corner listed here, and there is not a single left tackle listed. So we'll scroll down here. So here are the top 2 left tackles. This one is already 33%, which this means that this guy would probably be able to slot in and start for us. So that would be ideal. Let's go ahead and interview him. He's considered overrated. That being said, if he's available, I think that he is still the obvious pick because this guy's probably not going to be able to start right away. This guy's also considered overrated. I will admit that his bars are a little bit better. and their combines kind of trade, but you can see the first guy has a much higher soul rating. In terms of strength and agility, which I personally consider probably those two the biggest for a left tackle. They're basically trading shots. And then in terms of size, they're both decently sized for it. I don't know if we're going to have either of those because left tackles are pretty important positions. So teams before us might pick those two anyway. Let's look at a couple of these top corners. That looks like a very good pass defender. So interested. Third best corner because they're very overrated. So let's avoid him. And then we got Julio Woodson here. Very overrated. We'll avoid him. Another thing to note, our head coach specializes in secondary. So the fact that like he liked this guy and not the other two in terms of impression is important in my mind. And then this guy's bar, I don't know if I would pull a first round pick on those bars, to be honest. I don't think I would. If that's our first round pick, I don't feel comfortable with that. So that being said, we have 3 guys that we have marked as red. I'm not confident that any of them are going to be available at 24th. So we should probably interview one other person down here that we feel confident in. Something like this defensive tackle. This defensive end. Relatively interesting. That looks very interesting. Well, he doesn't have a good 40 time. From the combine, the first guy seems actually a lot more interesting. What is it? Okay, yeah, we have 2 very good defensive ends, so I don't know if we need to focus on that. We don't have a great defensive tackle. So I mean, for defensive tackle, run defense is the main thing I'm concerned about, but just nothing about that seems too enticing to me. No, let's interview him. It's considered hard to read. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll still mark him red, but I don't know how I feel about it. Where's the next? There's not another fit of a left tackle almost anywhere, so How's our right guards? I know we have a good left guard right now. This right guard is technically no longer on our team, so we could potentially target one of these guys that's a guard. They're the top 2 on the board, so I assume one of them will be gone. That guy's a red flag character. This guy looks really good, but I absolutely doubt that this guy's going to be available. If this dude's available, I'm going to reach on him without an interview. We already are set at tight end of this corner. Very overrated. Okay. This nose tackle. This nose tackle actually looks pretty interesting. I'm not going to lie. Let's interview him. Very overrated. All right. Now we're getting slammed with very overrated players. All right. Ooh. Ooh, his endurance sucks. But I think that could be worked on. Yeah, I want that Aiden guy if he's still available. All right. I don't feel like there is a clear answer here. I think Aiden Mason actually seems like a very good pull-in. Potentially better than all of these, to be honest. So let's use our final. I think we might have like 3 interviews left for a later round left tackle. Ooh. Very overrated, but his bars still look good. He's only 3% developed, so in terms of starting this year, it's going to be rough if he does it all. He is 20, though. Not a second round pick, but an interesting player. Dude's also ginormous. What the heck? I just know he's 6'9". That's a very interesting prospect. I don't know if he's the right fit for our team right now, but very interesting prospect. And this guy was considered very overrated. All right. Whew. All right. Those interviews I do not feel all that confident in. I guess we'll find out. Let's prepare for this thing. We'll set on fast to begin first round. And let's jump on in. First, we got Seattle. Seattle goes the quarterback. There's a very clear QB1 in this draft, so makes sense. Chicago goes the other quarterback off the board. All right, now we're going wide receiver to New Jersey. Washington with the defensive tackle. Tennessee goes safety. I did not actively look. I don't even think that safety was like a considered towards the top of this. So that is interesting. Wow, and a number of teams here seem to be reaching a little bit for quarterbacks. So in the back of my mind, down here where the quarterbacks were, I was thinking about looking at 1 or 2 of them as a potential backup and then like in 3 years potentially trade for picks, but those teams reached way more than I would have. All right. The 2 guards did go 8 and 9. The guard that I'm most interested in, did he just go? He did just go at 14. All right. Had about, 6 picks before us? That was the first corner. So that top corner actually lasted pretty far into the draft. Indianapolis, the outside linebacker. California is going tight end. Los Angeles, tackle. And Arizona goes defensive tackle. All right. So we're up. There's like one thing here. Not that I'm planning to go this position regardless. Okay. So there were a lot of running backs available in that top group. Only one of them went. So like theoretically, I don't even like that guy's bars. But I was going to say, theoretically, there's probably a running back that'll be an upgrade on what we have. But I don't think I'm too concerned about that. I'm going to mark that guy in case he falls to round 2. But I think we have ourselves technically, I guess 3 clear options, right? We have this left tackle. We have this left tackle. And then we have this corner. In my opinion, I think filling the left tackle is more important. We re-signed Ike Borders. We have 2 good safeties. Our overall front 7 is absolutely awesome. And then we do have these decent young corners on our team. So I think the answer here is that we need to fill that left tackle gap. The only thing that kind of worries me here is based on both of these guys, I think were considered overrated. Not only are they both considered overrated, the guy that has the better bars is only 14% developed, which means he might not even start this year. And I feel like we're in kind of like a win now mode. We went 11-5 last season, so we should be able to get another playoff run. I'm just so worried that this guy's not going to be able to produce for us. And then, like, in a season or 2 when he can, we're going to run into money problems because of the tight end and the wide receiver and blah, 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 blah. It's technically this guy that is more of a right tackle than a left tackle. All right. All right. I think Charlie Bruce is the right pick here. I realize he's not as developed. He is considered overrated. His bars still look very good, though. To be honest, I'm more trying to think in my mind, is it Charlie Bruce or is it this corner? I don't feel like the corner is as important for us right now, but I think that this is actually a better player. Like, if you look at these bars, those are, in my opinion, near perfect bars for a corner. That's exactly what I would look for a corner's stats. And he's already 45% developed, and he's considered hard to read, not overrated, which the tackles are considered overrated. This guy could switch to left tackle. This guy could switch to left tackle. Okay. We're going the cornerback. Alan Knight. And then we'll hope that one of those other tackles we looked at, specifically that guy that's really big, we're going to hope that he falls to round 3. And he's going to be our round 3 pick. He will be not starting for us because he's only 3% developed. But we'll probably end up slotting one of these tackles over and hope that that holds us through the season. All right, now that we're here, let me real quick look at this. So yeah, offensive line is the biggest area. We technically don't need an outside linebacker. We technically we probably want another safety. I don't know if there's a decent safety still on the board. That actually looks somewhat decent, to be honest. Because Alexis Brady, who I personally love, actually, these bars are really, what I would personally look for this position, right? Really good at run defense, really good zone defense, really good play diagnostics or diagnose, and then ridiculously high interceptions. That is actually a really interesting player. I am actually grabbing him. That's a little bit of a shot in the dark, but that is a very, very interesting player to me. All right. This left tackle is still available. He's a project. He's huge. He is very low developed. He's considered very overrated. His bars look very good, though. If we're able to get these bars out of a third-round pick, then I am going to be happy with it. He's 20, so again, he's a little bit of a project, but that is the pick. All right, now we have our high fourth-round pick. I think that we need to pull in a backup quarterback. Right now, our backup is this guy who actually did not play horribly. He actually came in for a couple of games last year for us, and he actually did decently. That being said, just based on his bars and based on his rating, we really need a better backup. So I think this pick should be on a potential backup quarterback if any of these guys are decent. This guy actually doesn't look bad, except that accuracy bar is a little terrifying. He's definitely the most interesting out of the three. Let's get these. Oops, I meant to click these three down here. Yeah. In my opinion, this is a prime candidate for backup quarterback because he seems to be kind of be overall average across the board. I'm going to mark him. All right. So those are the two most interesting quarterback prospects. Now, I'm not sure I'm actually going to pull the plug on either one of those guys, though. Let's take a quick look here. It's an interesting corner. Not as interesting of a corner, but this guy is a decent punt returner. Looks like he could be at least. This could actually be a very good pickup. This guy's bars look pretty good. This guy will ride the bench probably for a year or two, but that's good for getting him to develop. He'll be learning behind a very good center. And it looks like he's enough developed and looking decent enough that if our main center gets injured, he might be able to come in for us. So let's actually go ahead and grab him. All right, both QBs are still there, so I am going to keep sitting on that. The hell just happened? Okay. So, all right, down. It resorted in some way, and that threw me off. All right. Let's see. Looks like some of our first rookies are in here. Left tackle looks decent. Corner looks okay. Center looks pretty decent. Free safety looks decent. Cool. All right. None of them look like superstars right now, but for upfront rookie ratings, those actually look pretty darn good. We could use an inside linebacker, and we could use a guard. I think those are the two other things that we should specifically target. Inside linebacker, guard. Here is the top inside linebacker remaining. And that actually looks very good. Let's just go ahead and grab him. And then we're going to look. Both those quarterbacks are still sitting there. I think at this point I should pull on one of them. This guy's overall bars look much better. It's just that accuracy bar just terrifies me. Especially as a backup. I don't want somebody coming in and throwing interceptions, which is what I feel like this is going to lead to. So I think, rather go this guy. And that's what I'm going to do. All right. Top defensive end on the board has a ridiculous strength score. And the 3 bars that I am most concerned about for a defensive end all look very good. So let's do it. And then here's our final pick. Let's just see if there's any guard that still looks halfway decent. None of those are too enticing. In that case, just look at best remaining. And that corner actually didn't seem half bad, to be honest. But I'm not sure that's what I want to spend my pick on. Okay. Maybe I should just pick up that corner. Really good at man-to-man, really good at zone, and he had a ridiculously high score in the dash. So let's try it. All right. We have 9 million, which is borderline nothing. What the heck does that shield icon mean? I know I've seen it before, but I do not remember what the heck it means. Okay, I'm gonna sit on that for a second. What the hell does that mean? Oh, that's good. Oh, he's suspended. That's lovely. How long does he suspend it for? Let's see. I normally don't look in here. No, it's not that one. It's email. Okay, I don't know why it was suspended. Does it show in transaction log? I don't think it does. Punter signed new contract. Suspended for off field. Okay, I don't know how long he's suspended for. That sucks. So I guess that means I need to get a new punter, at least temporarily. All right. Right, we'll pull in this guy. Oh, wait, I'm not looking to... Okay, wait. Normally there's a bunch of punters and kickers up here. I guess none made it through the draft this time. Pulling in this guy. Especially since I have no idea how long I'm going to need this guy. Alright, and then I basically have no money. So we're going to just kind of need to run into our season here and then Okay, cool. I got him. Because, again, if we need to do like a trade or something mid-season, we're going to need at least a little space. All right. Training camp. Let's go Denver Drovers. All right. We'll simulate our exhibition games. And I don't normally do this because, like, preseason, the main thing I'm worried about is if anybody got injured and changes to ratings. But let's just take a quick look at how we did in our exhibition games. We went 0-3-1. But again, they're exhibition games. I'm personally not too worried about it. And oh geez, we are looking like an IR mess. Okay. Top inside linebacker, hyperextended elbow. He should be back. Main wide receiver, pulled calf muscle. He should be back after a week or two. Top guard, sprained knee, week or two. I don't know how to determine how long this guy's suspension is. Hopefully it's not a full year suspension, but I don't know how to confirm this. So I guess we'll sit and wait on that. Then, man, what the hell is with all of these injuries? All right, well, we'll see how this gets started. Do we have anything over here? We have one conflict. He doesn't like Michael Harmon. I do not view this guy as a need on our team, to be quite honest. It looks like our coaching staff brought him in. Considering it's causing a conflict, I think I'm actually going to cut this guy. Because, right, this guy's not bad, right? He's 46 overall. Bars look decent. He has 2 decent seasons as like a wide receiver, 2 or 3, right? Drew Jefferson, rookie from last season, is looking to be really good. We have Otis McDonald, who doesn't look like he's going to do too much. Jalen is still here, but it looks like he'll never play again. Roman Famatu is still looking like a very decent player. And then eventually we're going to get back Dabney. And then eventually we're also going to get back... actually, is he even available? Where is he? Those 2 names aren't right. That name... Grayson Gaither. This guy actually was, I think, our most targeted receiver last year. He was a tight end. This guy's healthy, so I don't think we need this guy. And considering it's causing a conflict, I am cutting him. Cool. Let's roll. All right. Week 1, going up against Kansas City. Again, first 3 weeks of the season, we're missing 3 of our centerpieces. So this will be interesting. We took the W at 28-27. Going against Chicago here. Beat them 19-0. Going up against Houston, who's 1-1. Took the W there as well. All right. Actually, let's go ahead and simulate past our bye week. Perfect. So we're sitting at 3-0. Let's take a quick look at our team summary. All right, now we know Holmberg, actually, he wasn't injured to begin. Okay, he's dealing with a hyperextended knee. Holmberg seems to have problems staying healthy, which definitely worries me a little bit. That being said, none of his injuries have been horrible, but just look at it. It's just like a spreadsheet of injuries. And so Harden has come in, and for a backup, he seems to be doing okay. I'll put it that way. Running game seems to be doing okay. Passing game, Fumatu actually seems to be really proving himself this year. That being said, we're going to see him taper off the moment that what's his name comes back. We're going to see him taper off as soon as... Where is he? Dabney's back in the lineup. Okay, I missed him up here. It looks like he came back last game, and it was probably with a backup quarterback. And the good thing is that Dabney and Fumatu, they have a great affinity with one another. So hopefully this will all kind of come together. Okay, then Jack here, he doesn't look like he's panning out too well. But again, he's our RB or quarterback 3. So see how it pans out. That being said, through the first 3 games, our run defense is absolutely killing it. Our defense in general is killing it. And hopefully we'll see these stats increase as Holmberg and all of his weapons are available. Let's keep it rolling. When is Holmberg supposed to be back? In 1 week. So he actually might even play this week. We'll see. All right, we beat Albuquerque. Here we're going up against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is sitting at 0-5. Took the W there. Going up against Baltimore, they're 2-4. They did beat us there. And here we're going up against California, who's sitting at 2-4. They beat us. So we just lost 2 weeks in a row. Let's see if something is going on. It looks like our main quarterback is sitting out again. What's going on? Separated shoulder. All right. So came back, got in like 1 game, and then got a separated shoulder. So we're sitting here mainly playing this season with this backup quarterback who is not all that great. You can see like our front line is looking relatively weak. Let's say our starting center is out with a severe hamstring pull. He's out unless we make playoffs. So we're dealing with a number of injuries this year. So, looks like Ike Borders has also been injured. So, I'm not going to lie, considering how many injuries we're facing this season, I'm actually surprised we're sitting at 5-2. But we'll keep it rolling and see kind of what happens here. Devin Holmberg, full strength in 3 weeks, so he's definitely missing at least another week or 2. Here we're going up against Cincinnati. They beat us. Going up against Kansas City. They beat us. Now we should be at the point where Holmberg might be back. Yeah, but it looks like he'll be back for us this game. And his receivers are mainly available. Our front line is a little bit decimated right now. We knew that was coming. We did not get a great draft pick in the past couple of episodes to fill in that void that we knew was coming. So let's see what ends up happening. All right, now that we have our kind of offense, quarterback still might be a little wavy this episode or this game, but we should start seeing our offense numbers start popping again. There we are, 34. Against Green Bay. They beat us hard. Did Holmberg get injured again? No, okay. Holmberg is still active. All right, going up against New England. They're a good team. It's in at 8-3. They beat us. Going up against Minnesota, who's in at 9-3. We actually beat them. All right. Let's see. We got 3 weeks left. We're sitting at 7-6. Let's take a quick look at playoff probabilities. All right. So we right now basically have a 50% chance to make it in. It looks like top 5 seeds are basically already locked in. So it's us competing with these other 5 teams in order to see who gets into the wild card game. Right? I don't have any chance. Yeah, I don't have any chance at a bye. Okay. So, let's see. Going into this week, main offensive weapons and stuff are healthy, which is huge. Offensive line is obviously still a concern. Overall, our defense has been playing decently. All right. Let's do this thing. Week 15, going up against California. Took the W. Perfect. Going up against Detroit. This is a big game. I forget, in this game, are they in our side? They are not. They're also playing for playoffs, though. So, here we go. They beat us. All right. Final game. We're going up against Las Vegas. And this is the game to determine who wins our division. Winner probably takes it. Let's take a quick look at something real quick. Yep, so it boils down to this game. Las Vegas versus Denver. Winner gets in. Final spot of the wild card. I'm actually going to hop into this mode, which I normally only do for playoffs, but this is a big game to get into playoffs. So let's see how we do. All right. So we start out with a touchdown. We start up 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. All right, they got a touchdown on us. All right, going into halftime, we are up 31-7. This is looking really good for us, but let's see this out. All right, we got another field goal. Scored a touchdown on us. We scored a touchdown back. And that is it. Unless something weird happens that I did not see there, we have made playoffs again. Made playoffs at 9-7. Let me rephrase that. I'm 99% sure we made playoffs at 9-7. We've been dealing with a lot of injuries and key injuries this season. So we will view it once again as long as we made it here, it's a new slate, and we have to perform. All right. So we're going up against Buffalo. We did make playoffs. Big question, though. Before we jump into this, let's look at how our overall season stats went. So, Holmberg. Look at that. Dude went... I think he played in maybe like 11 games. He played in 12 games. He put up basically 3,000 yards through the air. 15 passing touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. Really great passer rating. Awesome. Running game. Our running game overall was meh, but nothing to laugh at. Passing, Dabney played great once he came back healthy. Famatu had his best season through the air. Gaither, who was our top target last year, it still played a very respectable season for us, so that's awesome. Our defense actually struggled this year a little bit. If you look at the overall ranks, they're in the middle. Last season, a lot of these were single digits. Now we're looking at a lot more middle of the pack. The one thing I will say, though, is that we had most turnovers, which is a very important stat in football. But that's a little bit of a hard stat to predict for. So hopefully that plays in our favor as we enter playoffs here. Yeah, we had a lot of interceptions across the board. Just looking at that. And once again, Alexis Brady with his absolutely ridiculous pass defend rated. And Luther Hall, once again, top tackler on our team. And I think he even missed a couple of games. He missed 2 games in full and another 2 at starting. So, very awesome. I will say, looking at this though, we did not have a single player that even got 5 sacks. So, going into next season, maybe getting a little bit more pass rush might be beneficial for us. But we'll look into the stats and stuff a little bit in a minute here. All right, wild card weekend. Going up against Buffalo. Let's do it. All right, so they started out with a touchdown on us basically right away. We scored a touchdown in return. They scored on us. All right, this is a back and forth game so far. All right, going into halftime. We're up 34-21. This is a complete shootout. Let's see how this plays out here. All right, we're up by 20 points. Scored a field goal on us. There. All right, it looks there like they may be making a run on us, but we took the W. 44-31. If we look over here at our stats, Holmberg looks like he had a great game. Rushing leader, Price rushed 5 times for 140 yards. That's nuts. So it looks like we might have gotten a case of like a 90-yard run or something. So a little bit wonky, but you know what? We got the W. That's what matters. So, and if you look here, I was mentioning the turnover situation. Buffalo turned over 5 times on us. So hopefully that keeps playing in our favor. Looks like we're going up against the best team in the league in Cincinnati. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And I just want to double check here. Dabney just has a bad cold. And then, oh man, our offensive line is completely butchered. We also have a number of injuries on it. Man, definitely the most injury-filled season I think we've had. But we are doing this thing. Here we go. All right, we started out with a field goal. Cincinnati ties it up. We got a touchdown. We got a field goal. I would say they did as well before halftime. All right, so going into the second half, we're up by a touchdown, 13-6. Let's keep things rolling. All right, they scored a touchdown right out the gate after halftime. We respond with a field goal. And then we'll let this drive play out and see what happens. All right, so they punt it. All right, we're slowing this down because now they have the ball at about the 50-yard line. We're up by 6 with 7 minutes to go. So let's see how this plays out here. All right, they're set at 3 and 5 at basically the 50-yard line. Pass was not complete, so they are probably going to be punting. Yep. All right, so main thing here is that we want to ideally score. But if nothing else, we want to run that clock. Runs for 9. Not good enough. We have to punt. All right. Punted it away. Wait. Cincinnati. Denver's Grayson recovers the fumble. Oh, we punted, and they fumbled it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is huge. Okay. 4 minutes left. We run for 6 yards. We lost 2, but it's good. We're kind of milking the clock right now. Hopefully we get in a long field goal range. We went out of bounds. That is not ideal, although I guess with the 2-minute warning, it doesn't really matter. All right. We're punting it. So they're going to have to go the full length of the field in 2 minutes. They do have 3 timeouts, though. All right, defense. Here we go. All right, sack. Good way to start. Good way to start. Negative yardage. Awesome. Makes the catch. Only 2 yards. They called a timeout. All right. They have to go for it. They only have 2 timeouts. They have to go for it here. We'll see how the AI does in the game. Unless I'm not thinking about this straight, they have to go for it. Yep, okay, they're going for it. All right. Here we go. Pass forward, hurls a long pass. Pass was dropped. That should be game. Unless something completely wonky happens here. Perfect. Run for a couple of yards. They're calling timeouts. Shouldn't matter, though. Well, I guess theoretically it would force us to take a couple more plays. So maybe like a dropped thing or something like that. Let's freaking go! All right. 2 playoff games. Let's go. We're in this conference finals. All right. We're going up against Indianapolis. Did we lose any main players? Looks like Fumatu has a sprained neck, which is not great, but he's probable, so he'll more than likely play, just not be 100%. Melvin Dabney is sitting here healthy. Drew Jefferson is sitting here healthy. All right. And look, Alan Knight is starting at corner for us. So that was potentially a good pickup. Although our left tackle, we have our ginormous rookie left tackle in. So let's see how this goes. Let's see one thing here. Yeah, Jalen is still technically on our team, but he's more of like a bench player right now. All right, Indianapolis. All right, we're almost 1 quarter down, and neither team's offense is doing much of anything yet. They got a touchdown on us. It looks like it was on a turnover based on the numbers up here. All right. And going into halftime, it's 7-7. We're sitting at 20-20. They have the ball around half field, so let's slow this thing down. All right, 4th down, so they're going to be punting it. Touchback. Flag on us. Jefferson caught the pass for a almost 1st down. All right, 3rd down. Perfect, that's a 1st down. Awesome. On a tipped Oh, jeez. Okay. Ball got tipped and intercepted, and they now have the ball on their own 8-yard line. So main goal here is to make sure that they don't get a touchdown. That is the main goal right now. Come on, defense. Pitches the ball. Goes for 5 yards. All right. All right, there's their touchdown. Here we go. Holmberg. Awesome. All right. 2nd and 1. Good. Definitely has the first down. A false start. All right. Oh, another interception. Ooh. All right. Defense needs to hold them here. Stop for no gain. I just at 3 and 9. Hands the ball off. Lost. All right, so we're getting the ball back. We basically are going to have 2 minutes to drive this. Oh, we fumbled the punt. Oh, what is happening, team? We made it to the conference finals and we're sitting at 4 turnovers. I think this is over. Even if we hold them to a field goal here, we're going to have, 2 minutes basically? No, we're going to have less than that. We'll have to score twice. Only thing I can see here is that they missed the field goal, or we blocked the field goal. It's a decently long field goal, but kick is good. This is more than likely over, but we'll see what pans out here. Holmberg was sacked. Good catch by our tight end. Final play. Incomplete. And that wraps up the season. Ooh, we're 1 game away from the bowl. We were honestly probably 2 turnovers away from the bowl, to be honest. Oh, man. All right. Hopefully Indianapolis wins this, just so that I don't feel as bad. Oh, man. Arizona creamed Indianapolis. Oof. I think we were realistically two turnovers away from a bowl win, to be quite honest. 2 bowl games or 2 turnovers away from potentially having that ring. Man. All right. Well, let's take a look at our team stats. Let's see if we see anybody that might have made Pro Bowl situation. I don't think, if Holmberg had been healthy all season, he was definitely in line for potentially, but he wasn't, so I don't think he is. Daniels could be. He got over 1,000 yards on the ground, 9 touchdowns. He also added 350 through the air and 4 receiving touchdowns. So I think realistically Daniels actually could be a maybe like second team running back. Defensively, I really don't think anybody here is. Like I said, we didn't have anybody that really had great sack numbers. Luther Hall, if he had been healthy all year, probably would have gone for like 130 tackles again. So he might have been, but I don't see him making it with this. Alexis Brady played very well, got 4 interceptions, ridiculously high pass defender rate, but based on tackles and no sacks and no hurries, I don't think they're going to qualify. So let's go take a quick look. All right, season awards. Nobody first team and nobody second team. All right, well, that made things a little bit easier, right? Man, I really do feel like we were 1 or 2 turnovers away from having that season. I really do think that. We're now going to be in a little bit of a pickle here in terms of, I guess, next season we're still going to be okay in terms of major contracts, but it looks like probably the final season of the final episode 20 is probably going to have a lot of money problems, just looking at what we have going on here. But we'll see how it pans out then. I think really what did us in this year was probably 2 things. Our offensive line was definitely struggling. That's abundantly clear. And then we've had just a lot of injuries. I don't think at any point this season we had our regular starting lineup. I think every time I looked, it looked like we had at least 4 of our starters not starting every single game, at least. So, definitely the most injury-prone season that I remember in these recordings. That being said, we were freaking close this episode. So close. If you stuck it out till the end, thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Till then, AyyScare out.